Hey guys, welcome back to Stay True TV. Another episode on the house build. Today we're going to make a start in this room here. As you can see, we've been using this room as a bit of a construction site, so a bit of cleaning up to do first up. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead, get this room cleaned up, and we'll start getting some measurements for tiling so we can get some tiles cut down to size. Here a little bit early this week. I'm actually on night shift, so I've got a bit of time before work. I'm going to try and get some of this stuff smashed out. Hopefully that way, because we've got Christmas and New Year's this block off, we can get a fair bit done still in the house. So I thought just taking a little bit of an early step to try and get things rolling a little bit quicker. So these are a couple of little jobs we can take care of beforehand. So on saying that, let's get into it, see how we go. So we've just gone and cleaned up the room. We laid out a couple of tiles just so we could get a rough idea of where they're going to sit along the rows. And as you can see, what I've done is I've just gone ahead, I've got a template piece of tile, and I've just marked it out so I know exactly how many long ways we need. I've done this in every room, but I don't think I've shown you. So we've got every one that we need. And then I've just marked them out so I can work out how many of the 24s, how many of the 84s, how many of the 33s and how many of the 93.5s that we need. So I can go ahead and cut them out now and know that I need that many of them. And then also the fulls, we know that we need 2 per 24s and 1 per 84s, so we know we could work that out, and we've got all the tile that we need. And now we can go ahead, mark them out, cut them out, get them ready for when we want to lay them. Alright, so that's one job out of the way. Gone ahead, got all our tiles cut, ready to rock and roll. So when we're ready for the floor, that's one less job we've got to worry about. So now I've still got a little bit of time left. What we're going to do is go in and remove that curtain rail from over the window. Alright, so as you've seen, we had the plug disconnected, so we could remove that, get it out of our way. We're going to plaster that one up. The other thing we want is, Dara's asked if we can get a power point over to this wall, but that's a brick wall, and I don't really want to be chasing concrete in this room, only because we've got the other bedroom on the other side of this, and I don't want to be smashing holes in that wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring to this one here, which is plasterboard. So I was thinking if I can trim nicely around the base of this so we can tuck the cable in there and have it feed up just inside, so I only have to cut a slither and then put our box here. So I'll be able to run the cable all the way over to this one here. Now this one's been pulled out and there's a piece of wood here and a piece of wood here. It looks like it's a channel that goes down the wall here. So the plan is if I cut that section of plasterboard out of there, then get the cable so it comes out from here, and then we can run it around the underneath of the plasterboard, round to the other spot where we want the other power point, and then it's just a matter of cutting another piece of plasterboard, putting it back in here, screwing it in, plastering it up, and fingers crossed you won't even know there was anything done. Alright guys, so I think what we've done here is a pretty good idea, because really we've not gone and done any damage to the wall. Got the cable going in, comes out the bottom, which will be behind the skirting board anyway, and then it comes around, runs around the base of the wall. Over here, same deal, cut out under the skirting board that'll be, comes out the wall, and that's where our power point will be. So it's a little bit further away from where Dara wanted hers, but like I say, if we went through the brick wall, there's a good chance that we'll end up blowing through the wall into the other bedroom, and I just don't want to do that. So here it's going to be just as effective where it will be for what we want it for as what it would be on that wall, so we should be sweet. We've also gone ahead and we plastered up a few of the holes, the TV aerial down there, where the old fan controller was, and the old power point up here. We've got them all plastered up. I've noticed we've got a couple of nail holes that are exposed around these areas. I'm thinking what we might do is go and pull them out, put screws in, screw it all up nicely, replaster that stuff, sand it back, and we've also got the wall, this wall here, this is where we done the repair to we blocked in the door from the other room. So we'll be sanding that back when we get back as well, sand that back, and getting it all nice and flush, but there will be a wardrobe going on in that area there, so we're not too phased about how good that comes up, but we will get it relatively well sweet. But as for now, I've got to go. I did just get a phone call from our window people saying that our piece of glass for that bifold window in the dining room is sorted, so I'm going to go pick that up, and then we'll catch you tomorrow. Alright, now we're back again, it's the next day. We're going to get straight into getting this wall here sanded. And we've got a few little patches and stuff. We did this patch here, did put the mesh tape in there and put the plaster on it, but it has cracks, so what we'll do is we'll just sand that back nice and flush, put some top up in there. Got a couple of little spots like this that we just got to put a bit of top up in. Fingers crossed before we leave today, we'll get that all sanded back, ready for some paint tomorrow. Other thing we're going to take care of, we've got all the fan and everything disconnected now, so we can go and rip this thing down as well. Take care of that. It is boiling hot. Wish that was actually working, but it is what it is. We'll have to take care of that and start getting this room ready for preparation. Let's get into it. We've just gone ahead and ripped all the plaster off of the walls, all the thick stuff anyway. We're going to have to go around and just patch some of the spots with some finer stuff, and then when we go over it again we'll have to go over with a bit finer sandpaper. Ripped it down with a pretty coarse sandpaper this time just to help us get through a bit quicker. I think it definitely made a difference, and then yeah, obviously we've just got to go over it with another bit of plaster. We'll just go over it nice and fine now, and then when we come back tomorrow, it should be just a matter of a nice snick over it with some finer sandpaper, and hopefully be a nice wall ready to go and paint. So we're going to touch everything up. We also did do up in the window up here, along the top there was a lot of flaky paint, so I just went across it with the sandpaper and just feathered all the paint out, so it's all nice now. Ready for some paint up there as well. It should be sweet. So we're going to go ahead first, chuck some more plaster on the walls where we need to. Then I think we'll go get into getting this white down. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just in this wall here, mainly I've seen anyway, we've got a couple of nails that have come a bit loose from the plasterboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull them nails out and put screws, plasterboard screws into the wall just to hold it a little bit more securely. And then we'll plaster over them as well and then clean them up so it's all good to go. Now, to get to these nails, because the heads are actually pressed into the plasterboard, it's actually really hard to grab. So a friend of mine, Mr. Ken Moore, lent me this tool here, and apparently what you do is you push it in, somehow like this, grab the nail onto the head as it pushes in, it grabs, and you pull it all out like this, it works a treat. So we're going to give this sucker a crack, see how it rock and rolls. That worked a treat once we worked out how to use it. Got to have it up the beam, rip it out. Alright guys, so we've gone ahead, we've got the plaster on the walls where we need it. It's going to hopefully be sanding it back today because it is drying relatively quickly. We're just starting to have a bit of a clean up on the floor, get everything tidied up so we can sand it back, but unfortunately we've got a family member that's broken down about 100 k's out from where we are, so we're to go and do a recovery. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be able to get into these walls, hopefully sand off the last bit and get some paint on. Catch you then. So we're back again, going to try and get a bit of this room smashed out. We are pretty late in the day, so we're going to see what we can do. First of all, we'll start by getting the floor cleaned up. Then we'll just sand them little plaster patches that we put on yesterday. Then start putting some paint on, probably put on some paint on the roof. Obviously we've still got to undercoat all the patches actually. Probably patch all the undercoat patches, then we'll get onto the roof and see how we're going from there, whether we get a coat on the walls or not. Let's get into it and see how we go. Alright guys, so we've done 2 short days here, and I was hoping today we should be able to get to the shops and get some supplies. Unfortunately, due to Christmas and New Year's and all the other stuff going on, the shops that we required are not open. The plan was to get all the equipment for the tiling, but unfortunately the tile shop is shut, so we can't grab our sows and stuff like that. And I don't really want to take on the job without them, because they do make the job a hell of a lot easier and a lot better job than I can do on my own. So we're going to have to skip that for the day. So I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll start going around the house and just getting down some of the, cutting the skirting boards and stuff like that, back through the other rooms that we haven't cut and fitted yet. We can fit the ones where we need them fitted. We can even cut the ones for in this room, have them ready. We can't fit these ones until the tile floor's down, obviously. So on that note, let's get into it. Alright guys, change of plans. We got the door skirting on. We started sizing up the rest of the skirting, and then I got a phone call from Dara saying she'd managed to wingle us some sows. So we got some sows, we got some more glue, so we're going to go ahead and get this tiling done after all. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so it's the next day. We managed to get the flooring down last night. Did take a little bit, got dark on us, but we managed to get it down. Did have a couple of little hiccups, one of which was where we put the old, we blocked the old door off down there. The plasterboard was right to the ground, and we did need the tiling to go just underneath it, so we had to stop and cut that, get that redone. So we did that. And then right at the end we had a little bit of trouble with the last 2 tiles down here. They were super tight. Usually you just get a block of wood and a hammer and just knock it around a little bit. Maybe it's got to just open up a little bit, the gap. Unfortunately it wouldn't open up. I cracked about 3 tiles trying to get it in, then I stopped and thought about it. And what I worked out was over here, we've got a small little tile here that was in here. And we've done all the others to 35mm. This side obviously tapered off a little bit more, so it was actually jammed up against the wall, couldn't go any further, which was stopping us from getting our gap. So what I had to do was removed the strip from that corner, got the 2 tiles in, and then we went and cut a new strip for that, a bit smaller, so it fitted all together nicely. We also want to just give a big thanks to Matt from Beaumont Tiles in Whyalla for actually making it possible. He come through for us, getting us the sows and the glue so we could get this video on its way, getting the tiles down and having this room finished before I went back to work. So big thanks, mate. As for now, we're going to go rip up all these sows, start cleaning up my mess, and get some grout down. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we've just finished grouting all the floor. It's looking fantastic. Can't really do much more in there until the grout dries now. We have got another quick job to take on though before we go. Dara's been doing a bit of a project and she's been nagging me about getting it painted, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing painted. So we've just gone and set it up, the two main frames and the middle frame. As you can see, Dara's been doing some work to it. She's done a couple of repairs on the headrest here. And she's gone and sanded it all down, hence why it's so rough looking. Gone and take all shiny parts off it, so the paint will etch to it. So the first thing we're going to do now, we're going to go and remove the runners, get everything set up, and we're going to try our new paint gun out, see how it goes. Alright guys, so we've just gone ahead, had an attempt at the gun, turned out miserable. Had runs everywhere, turned out nothing very good at all. So what we've gone and done is we've just gone over it, rolled it and brushed it, get rid of all the runs and stuff. We'll let that dry overnight and then tomorrow I think we might be coming back with a paintbrush and some paint and going over the whole lot. I don't know whether it was the paint mix or the paint gun, I don't know what's going on, just couldn't get it quite right. It'd either be blubbering or it'd be too runny, so I don't know. Here's what it is, good learning curve. We'll come back tomorrow and try again. See you then. Came back early this morning, just got back onto the painting. We've just gone and brush painted it. The read-ups that I was doing, them guns that we've got, apparently they're not too flashing the best of times, so we just decided we'll just go ahead and brush it up and hopefully it'll come up alright. So far we've got 2 coats on them and they're looking not too bad at all. So what we're going to do is we're just going to bugger off for a little bit, come back in a couple hours time, put a 3rd coat on it. Hopefully she'll be sweet. Then once that's done, we'll be back again tomorrow, mask up another section, paint a different section, a different colour. Should look sweet. Fingers crossed. As for now, we'll see you soon. Alright guys, so we've just got back and we've done 3 layers of paint over the bed, the drawer and the 2 side slats, and it's looking heaps better than it did. It's got a couple little runs in it and stuff, but hopefully we can fix that when it dries out. As for now, it is only a short day today as it is New Year's Eve, and we do have plans for the rest of the day. So we're going to leave this to dry, and then we'll be back tomorrow to start unmasking the cot and sorting out the rest of it. Alright guys, so it's the next day. The white's turned out pretty good. We've just gone and unmasked the 2 side carriages and the drawer up. Now, first of all, New Year's Day. Happy New Year's to you all. Next thing, everyone's been hassling us. When's the gender reveal for the baby coming out? Today's a lucky day. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, today we're going in to do our gender ultrasound to see what we're having, and we are standing out at the front of the 3D and 4D ultrasound beyond the bump imaging. So let's get in there and see what happens.
You waste time when you surround yourself with people who make you laugh. Don't know how to hold you when you lose your mind over the wrong things. How you love yourself. How you teach others to love you.
Oh, there's a doodle, Dara.
You're a dick, you said it was a boy. Oh man. You sad, don't know how to tell me when you lose your mind over the wrong thing. I hope you realize, but you don't know how to say what.
Alright guys, so there it is. We've got the cot together. As you can see, it's pink. We have been blessed with a little girl. Really looking forward to meeting her. But for now, we've got to continue just trying to smash this house out as much as we can, get as much of the build done as we possibly can. But for this video, we are finished. We've got this room pretty well done out. Again, we've just got to go through and do all the skirtings. We're going to have to sit down and think about doing that very soon, just going through all the rooms and finishing all the skirting, getting all done, painted. Then we can start putting stuff in these rooms, getting some doors on, and getting all the bits and pieces sorted out, ready to lock up. It is New Year's Day, so it has been a short day here today, and I am back to work tomorrow, so Happy New Year's to everyone out there. We did manage to get a fair bit done. We got this room smashed out, got the plastering done. You can't even tell the door was ever there on that wall now, which is absolutely fantastic. There's going to be cupboards and stuff coming in here as well, which come in a later date. as for now, our main focus is just getting these rooms completed, locked up sections, all good, ready to go. Then we can start looking at moving in and just taking care of the little bits and pieces where we need to. And as for that, if you like the contents that we're providing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, set your notifications for upcoming videos, smash that like button, and join us along the way for the rest of our videos. We'd like to wish you all a happy new year, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.